Okay, 9.3. We're talking similar right triangles. You guys have seen this word before. It's in chapter 8. Right? Same shape, different sides. We have all congruent angles. Right? When we have two similar shapes, all angles are congruent. And if we know at least two angles are congruent, then we have congruent triangles. In this first part, we're just going to use this figure, but I want you to focus on draw CD, so that it's an altitude from the right angle to the hypotenuse. What does an altitude mean? It means that in the hypotenuse, this forms a right angle. Okay, so we go from the right angle here, go up to the hypotenuse and form a right angle. That's called the altitude. Okay? In this figure, we have three congruent triangles. We have our obvious big triangle ABC. We also have two little triangles. Okay, and these are all similar. Why? Because we have a right angle here. We have, in our black triangle, we have a right angle here, and they share that angle. Our blue triangle, DCB, this has a right angle, and they share this angle. Okay, those are all similar triangles. Okay, why? Well, if ABC is similar to CAD, okay, and ABC is also similar to BCD, okay, then they're all similar to each other. Okay, moving on down here. The geometric mean of two positive numbers, A and B, is the positive number x that satisfies this equation. A over x equals B over x. If we cross multiplied and simplified this, we'd get AB equals x squared. So that can also be the geometric mean. Alright, but right now we're going to focus on that equation, A over x equals x over b, because in this next part it says, write a proportion involving the side lengths of CBD and ACD. CBD, so this blue triangle, and ACD, this red triangle. And we're going to write a proportion so that CB is a geometric mean. So CD is in place of x in this equation. And we're going to fill in those blanks. I'm going to rewrite these triangles so they kind of shape the same way. We have this red triangle. We have D as our right angle. C is kind of our height. And A is that leg. This blue triangle over here, right, the same way. Okay, it's a little bigger. We have D as our right angle, B is our height, and C is kind of our leg. Okay. In that first triangle, something over CD. So what correlates with that? In our first triangle, it's AD. So AD over CD equals CD over BD. Okay, so we wrote a proportion where CD is the geometric mean. So AD over CD equals CD over BD. This next part down here says, use this proportion you wrote in part B to find CD. Okay, so we can also cross multiply. We get AD times BD equals CD squared. Okay, I don't know why this book says use this ratio to solve this, because we'd have to know what AD times and BD, we'd have to know those lengths to find CD squared. And you know what we don't have? Are those two lengths. What we do have from over here is this length, 9.43. Okay, that does not help us in this ratio. So, we are not going to use this ratio. At least for this, this part. Okay, we'll use that ratio later. We want to find CD. We want to find this length right here. CD. Okay. How do I do that if I know this is 5, this is 8? I'm going to create my right triangles. Okay, that's A, or this is D, C, and A. What do we know? We know what the hypotenuse. We know that AC is 5. In my blue triangle, this one right here, we have D, we have B, and we have C. And then our big triangle. Be careful here. Okay, what's my highest leg? It's 8. Right? So I know that this is C, this is A, and this is B. Okay, because my longest leg, this is 5, and this is 9.43. And what do I know in that blue triangle? I know that the hypotenuse there is 8. Okay, and what do I want to find? I want to find CB. Okay, CD right here. I can set that up as an equation. I can say CB over, go to my big triangle, right here, over 8 is equal to 5 over 9.43. Okay, we cross multiply, we get 40 equals 9.43 times CD divided by 9.43. CB is equal to, I think it's 4.24. Where 40 divided by 9.43 is 4.24. Cool. Good. Moving on. I'm not going to do D right here. How are the altitudes and geometric means of right triangles related? The altitude. Could be this. It is altitude is equal to altitude. Okay, and these two blanks are all part of that big hypotenuse. So segment of hypotenuse, that's all I'm just to say, HY, and then segment of hypotenuse. Okay. Or it's the two segments of hypotenuse multiplied by each other, multiplied, and that's going to be equal to the altitude squared. That's how they're related. Down here we have the geometric mean. Okay, we've been talking about that. AB over, or sorry, A over X will be equal X over B. You can also say if we cross multiply, we get X squared is equal to AB, or X is equal to the square root of AB. Okay, keep that in mind as we move forward here. The right triangle similarity theorem. Okay, if we have three triangles, three right triangles, they're all similar. The geometric mean, yep, just talked about that. Right here, the altitude theorem. In a right triangle, the altitude from the right triangle, or the right angle to the hypotenuse, divides the hypotenuse into two segments. Okay, so here's my altitude CD. It breaks it into this part and this part. And CD equals AD, so this length times BD. So CD squared equals AD times BD. Here's the leg theorem. If we wanted to find CB or CB squared, that's going to equal DB times AB. So that whole length. DB times AB. Okay. AC squared, so it's that long leg of the right triangle, equals AD times AB. Okay, so if we want to find a leg of that big right triangle, we multiply this little segment, or either the big segment times the whole segment, or if we want the little leg, we multiply this little leg times the whole segment, the whole hypotenuse. Let's get into some extra practice here. Identify the similar triangles. Okay, the first one. I have JIH, so triangle JIH is similar to, start with the right angle, KJI, similar to triangle it's going to be KIJ. Right, because I and I, right, order matters. And then the blue one, blue triangle, is similar to triangle KHJ. Yeah, they're all similar. You guys can do number 2. I'm going to move on to number 3 and 4. We want to find the geometric mean of these two numbers. So the geometric mean is x squared equals 2 times 6. Okay, multiply 2 times 6. We get x squared is equal to 12. The square root of 12 is x equals the square root of 4 and the square root of 3, which is 2 square root of 3. This next one, x squared equals 5 times 45. Okay, 5 times 45 is 225. The square root of 225 is 15. So x is equal to 15. Next, we want to find the value of the variable. So we have our height x. Okay, so we know that the altitude x squared is equal to 16 times 9. Okay, the altitude, take those, multiply by each other, and then take the square root. So 16 times 9, and then the square root of 144 is 12. So x is equal to 12. Okay. This one, remember it's a long leg of that big right triangle. So if we take y, we know that y squared is equal to 9 times 9 plus 2, which is 11. We want 9 times that whole thing, so y squared equals 9 times 11. Y squared equals 99, the square root of 99. Is 9.95. Okay, down here. Down here, we have the short side of the triangle, the right triangle, but we don't have the long side, and we don't know the hypotenuse. So it's hard to use our ratios on one like this because we don't have enough information. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a different ratio where I'm going to take the base of this triangle, so we know that, that's 7, so this right triangle has a base of 7. Okay, and a height of 49. Now I'm going to take my whole triangle, my whole right triangle, okay, and that has a base of 49. Okay, we want to find t. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I messed up one thing. If I zoom in, can't zoom in on here. If I zoom in, the height isn't 49. The hypotenuse is 49 because it's across my right triangle, which makes this a lot easier. Okay, this little triangle, we have 49. We want to find t, okay, of our whole big triangle. You can set this proportion up as 7 over 49 equals 49 over t. Okay, and then multiply 49 times 49 and divide that by 7. That's going to get us 343. Good. Next one. Okay, I have my altitude right here. So I know that 6 squared is equal to 3 times a plus 4. Okay, if I distribute that 3, I get 6 squared is equal to 3a plus 12. 36 is equal to 3a plus 12. If I simplify, I'm going to subtract 12, I get 24, and divide it by 3, I get a is equal to 8.